everybody, and welcome back to 24 days of Ari&Me. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you've been enjoying this so far. If you have, don't forget to subscribe and like, etc, etc. And of course you can always comment on the videos and tell me what you would like to see in the future and what you have been enjoying, what you haven't been enjoying so much, just so I know and I get an idea of what you're enjoying. I hope you enjoy this video, which is going to be 24 facts about myself, Katie Hart. I thought that'd be quite cool to share. I've written down some things that I think are interesting about me, but you know, they might be interesting to you, they might not be, so you can let me know whether they're really boring or whether they're interesting. I've tried to keep them quite interesting, quite fun, and yeah, so you can let me know what more you'd like to know about me. But I decided to do 24 facts instead of 25 facts because it is the 24 days leading up to Christmas, so if you catch my drift. Let's go. So I don't know what your guys' first word was, but mine was moon, weirdly enough, and I have no idea why. I think that my parents used to sing a song to me, I see the moon sees me, and I think that I just caught on from there. But I don't know, honestly. I think, isn't that strange though? It wasn't mum or dad or mummy or daddy or anything, it was just moon. I would love to know what your guys' first words were, because I wonder if they're as strange as this, whether they're as odd, you know, and just, you know, strange, because it feels like quite a strange first word. It's not really, you know, you might have like teddy, I don't know. Anyway, let me know below what your first words were so that I can see whether I'm just really odd. The second fact about me is that my first trip overseas was when I was only 6 months old, and you never guess where it was, but it was going to the UK to, I don't know what, but all I know is that while I was there at 6 months old, I did dance on tables in Hard Rock Cafe, so there's an extra little bonus fact for you. I really don't know why I went to the UK that young. I don't know why I went that young. I don't know why we went that young. Why we went when I was that young. Yeah, I was there. So I travelled for the first time at 6 months old. And again, let me know your first time travelling. And that's really early, actually. My third fact about me is that I actually used to sing my way around Woolworths. My mum has historically always shopped at Woolworths. Remember the South African Woolworths, so ours is not closed down. It's basically the South African equivalent of Marks and Spencer's. We even have some Marks and Spencer food in there. And when I was young, I used to sit in the trolley and sing apparently at the top of my lungs the whole way around the store, and while my mum was attempting to have a quiet food shopping. And something that goes along with that is my next fact, which is that while we were in the shop, I would never ask for sweets. I wasn't interested in sweets. I wanted herbs and things like mint and parsley, and I used to eat the tops of celery and the top of the fennel, and that was what I wanted. That was like my favourite part. And I think that's really strange for kids, because I think my mum always used to say the rest of the kids were always wanting sweets, and I was just like, oh, I want mint or parsley or basil or whatever. And to be honest, nothing much has changed there. I still really love herbs and eating them, so no, maybe I'm just strange. We actually had a mint bush, because they're kind of big bushes, in the back of our garden. Sort of up by the washing line in our garden when I was little. It's actually still there, but I don't think it's the same one. But as a little child, obviously I didn't know that you had to go and clean the mint before you ate it, and this is gross, there's I just noticed, this is disgusting. There's lots of little like little tiny green bugs that live obviously on the mint. I can't remember what they're called, but they're not great. You certainly wouldn't want to be eating them, but that's exactly what I was doing. I was eating those little bugs, because I was just grabbing the mint out of the garden and just eating it straight away, and my mum distinctly remembers a time at bath time where she had to like clean all of these little green bugs which were just running around. Oh, gross. I mean, it's just like, I can't imagine doing it now. Anyway, and I hate creepy crawlies actually with such a passion, so it's so strange that I would even do that. My fifth fact is that I used to think that all bad words, i.e. swear words, I used to insist that they were actually called square words and not swear words. And I, again, I'm not sure why. I think there was someone at school who called them square words, and I thought that they were definitely right. My parents were definitely wrong, and obviously that's not at all accurate, but you know, when you're a kid, that's what you think. Number 6 for me is that I am allergic to jellyfish. Apparently only 1 in 100 people is allergic to a jellyfish, so this is a relatively interesting fact. For 1 out of 100 of you, it's not. But for the rest of you, it is relatively interesting. 99 people are going, oh, wow, you can be allergic to jellyfish? Yes, you can. So I was stung by just a random jellyfish off the coast of Durban when I was swimming, I think, in the sea, and I think it stung me twice. And we went up to the lifeguard, and they said, oh well, don't worry about it, just pour some vinegar on, which they had, and just pour some vinegar on and it'll be fine. And I was not fine. I was really, really ill, and if you are allergic to jellyfish, you know what happens when you get stung by a jellyfish. You sort of, if I can sort of explain this as basically as possible, you kind of get really nauseous and you just throw up incessantly, and there's no way of stopping it because it's not food poison or anything, it's actually your body's trying to get rid of the toxin. So you just keep vomiting incessantly. I vomited, I think, for 3 days straight. I did go to the doctor. Probably wasn't my best holiday. Number 7 on my facts, and I don't know how interesting this is because I think this might, I don't know how many people this is the case for, but I am still friends with the very first person I met at play school. His name is Dean, and we have been best friends since we were about 4. And yeah, we've never been anything more than friends. For anyone who's out there going, oh my god, it's our boyfriend. No, we've literally never been anything more than friends, but we've been friends since we were 4. So we've been friends for 18 years. That took a long time, didn't it? Not a numbers girl. Number 8, this is quite an embarrassing one, I guess. I mean, it depends. I think I was quite a violent child because there was this one girl at play school who I really didn't like. I'm not going to say her name because I feel like I can't. But if she's watching, she knows exactly who she is. Anyway, I got really cross with her because I didn't like her, and she followed me around, and she was, I don't know what I thought she was trying to do. I think I thought she was trying to steal my friends or something in play school. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But essentially, I was really angry with her, and obviously at the age of about 4, you can't really talk things through. You don't really go, oh well, you're really annoying me because this, and this. So I don't even know how we ended up in the bathroom together, but somehow we ended up in the bathroom together, whether I lured her there or whether she was there just purely coincidentally. But she used to follow me around. Wherever I went, she went. So I think probably she just followed me there, and I probably just had like enough. And I put her head down the toilet. That's the kind of person I am. So all of you people who think I'm a damn angel, I'm not. Sorry. Yeah. It's a bit embarrassing. Sorry. If you're the person who did that too. And you know if you were. I don't think we've spoken since. Let me put it that way. We certainly weren't, I don't think we were friends after that. I mean, yeah, I once stuck someone's head down the toilet. Number 9 is that one of our traditions at Christmas, again, don't know if this is interesting or not, is drinking sherry while we put up the tree. I'm not going to say how early that started because it could make my parents sound like bad parents, and they are most definitely not bad parents. So, yeah. But it was one of those things that it just always happened, and I think that is the only time of the year that my parents drink sherry. And my dad does not like it, so I think he still prefers to drink port, so he'll drink port, my mum and I will have sherry, but in one of those really tiny glasses that are so pointless that you have, not a shot glass, but like a tiny version of like a wine glass. What are those? 10, I don't know how many of you will relate to this. Some people think it's completely gross. I really love marzipan. It is one of my favourite tastes in the world, and every year my mum marzipans the Christmas cake, and I get the little chopped off bits off the end, and I just love marzipan. If there's one thing in the world that I just will be like, oh my god, it's amazing, it's marzipan. Like, I love it. I love the stuff, I love the taste, I love the texture, everything about it, and if it's covered in dark chocolate, it just got 100 times better. I don't know why I like it so much. Maybe it's because I grew up with it, maybe it's got nothing to do with that whatsoever, but I love marzipan. If there's one thing that I will treat myself to, it'll be marzipan. I would choose it over chocolate, over pretty much anything actually. I'd choose marzipan. My 11th fact about me is that I used to play with electric cars, and I'm talking about like remote control cars, proper remote control cars. I think I still have both of the main electric cars that I had. I had a Porsche 911 because I'm that kind of girl, which I remember it cost my parents an absolute fortune to buy because it was obviously a big brand as well, and it was just the small silver version of the 911. And then I also had a big 4x4, so obviously those are my two dream cars. I liked sports cars and then big cars even then. And I called my big car something specific. I called her Avalon, and I don't know why. And it was definitely a girl. And I don't actually know why that's the case either. 12. Okay, this harks back to the Christmas cake. Obviously in a Christmas cake, in a traditional Christmas fruit cake, you put brandy. Well, when I was very little, my mum and dad organised a clown to come to a birthday party of mine. I actually hate clowns, so I'm not sure really why he was there. But he asked what you use to make a cake, and of course, I was the birthday girl, so I put up my hand, he took my answer, and of course I said brandy. Yeah. Of course I did. So everybody like looked at my parents like, and my mum was like, oh no. And I think she spent the rest of the time just trying to explain to people that in fact it was just because the Christmas cake was the only cake I've ever made with her. I don't know. Anyway, it was quite funny I think for the rest of the people, and I think most of the kids didn't even know what brandy was. And everyone was shouting out things like flour and sugar, and I was like, brandy! You know. I mean, obviously. What do you use to make a cake better? Brandy. 13. I don't like to eat with my hands. Even if it's a toasted sandwich or pizza or something like that, I don't actually like eating with my hands. I will much prefer to get a knife and fork and cut it up neatly. I also don't like eating the top layer of bread. I like to take the top layer of bread off and only eat the bottom layers. Maybe that's really weird, but it's something I do. 14. My favourite city in the world is London. I couldn't tell you why. I mean, I think just if you want to know why, just look at it. I mean, I love that city so much. I love it with all my heart, and I feel like every time I land, you know, and I get off a plane in London, I feel like I'm home. It's such a special feeling, and I think it's so weird because I've never lived there. I don't live there, and I would love to, and I have a grand plan, but you know, it's not right now. And yeah, but it is my absolute favourite place in the whole world. I've got an itch. Been bitten by a mosquito. Evil. 15. As an adult, I have only ridden a bicycle once, and when I did, I had paid for this bicycle, by the way, because I insisted on buying it. When I did ride it, I fell off and I broke my arm in 3 places, and I never have ridden a bicycle again after that. But it's sort of my own fault, because I decided, oh well, I don't want to go bicycle riding all by myself. I want to take Aria with me. So I sort of hooked her up to her harness and her lead, and then let her run alongside me. And of course at one point she pulled across in front of the bike, and in an effort to save her rather than myself, and I didn't want the bike to fall on her, so I pushed my arm out against the road and landed full force on my arm. And of course Aria was unharmed, the bike was fine, but I was not so fine. And I have never ridden a bicycle again, and I don't have any inclination to ride one again. That's just a fact. 16, I guess, is quite interesting. I actually didn't own a pair of jeans until I was 15. That's weird, isn't it? And you know, the reason is that I hate my thighs, I hate my legs, I don't like the shape of them. And when I was in primary school, I was called Thunder Thighs by a stupid little boy. If he's watching, he knows exactly that it was him as well. And it stayed with me even to now. So when I'm putting on jeans, like, all I can think of is people are going to think I'm fat. So I don't actually love wearing jeans. Most people love wearing jeans. It's not my go-to. I do own quite a few pairs now, because I feel like you can't not own jeans, but yeah, I didn't own my first pair until I was 15. This is a funny one. This is one my mum told me, and I do remember doing it a bit. As a child, I would rearrange the furniture in my room like a few times a week, not just like, you know, once a month or once a year or something. I used to do it like a few times a week, and when I'm talking furniture, like proper big furniture, I used to move it around myself, and I used to change the room setup, and it used to drive my mum absolutely mad, and she hated it because she was like, I don't understand why you have to do this. And I don't know why I did it, but it's just something I did, and I still like to change things up occasionally. 18. My favourite teddy bear. Right, my favourite teddy bear is called Daffy. He's a duck, and I still have him. I do. If you're thinking he's really grubby, he doesn't come cleaner than this, mate. He really doesn't. And he's got a bald patch on his head, and he came from Woolworths. He no longer has a tag, and he's just this really cute duck. And when I was young, there's a story behind him as well. When I was young, I went into Woolworths with my parents, and they said, okay, you can have a teddy. And of course, I was very little. I think I was about 5. So I just thought, well, they said I can have a teddy, so I can have a teddy. So I picked Daffy up, later to be called Daffy. He used to have a bandana as well, by the way. I don't know where that is. And it was red and sort of paisley. Where is that? I don't even know. And how do I remember that? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I just picked Daffy up and ran out of Woolworths with him, and that is the first and only time I've been chased by a security guard. And my parents. My parents were like, no, stop. But you know, I mean, I was young. I didn't know. So, and it was all good. The security guard was, I think she was laughing the whole way because she thought this is just so funny. I feel like they would take it more seriously now, but they didn't at that stage. It was like early 2000s. Anyway, he's cute, and I mean, he's really broken, but it's his scars and his little breaks and his everything like that that makes him who he is. He could stay with me now. 19 is so stupid, and I know it's stupid, but you know when you can't get over something and you have to just you must then stick to it because it becomes a thing, so you can't not do it anymore. I won't eat Sasko Sam bread. Sorry, Sasko Sam. Sorry, Sasko. I actually won't eat their bread. Because when I was little, again, this is a lot of when I was little. When I was little, we went on a school trip to the Sasko Sam factory. Sasko used to have this little like bread piece called Sasko Sam, who was the like little character to, you know, I don't know. Anyway, it was the little character there, and they were giving away a few of these teddy bears, and one of the questions they asked, no idea what the question was, but I knew the answer, and instead of giving it the damn teddy to me, they gave it to another one of my classmates, and I do remember who it was, but I can't say. We're actually still friends anyway, it didn't break our friendship, because I was so cross with them. I think I was so cross with them because they picked her rather than me, even though I had my hand up, and I felt like I had my hand up quicker than she did, and they picked her anyway. And I definitely knew the answer to that question, and I didn't get a Sasko Sam teddy, and I was really cross the rest of the trip, and I've been cross since. I'm not actually cross about it anymore, I just won't eat the bread because I feel like it's a thing now, you know? I'm strange. 20. I have never got over the fact that I didn't get jelly shoes as a child, and so the effect of that was that the second jelly shoes came back to be a thing. I think it was last year, 2015. They became a thing again, and they became a thing for adults. I went out and bought a pair purely because I wanted a pair, and I hadn't had one ever. I hadn't had a pair of those shoes ever. And I wanted a pair, so I went out and bought them myself. And swung them in my mother's face and was like, look what I got. And she was like, yeah, you know. I think she was like not bothered at all. She was like, well, you know. Anyway, I have them now. I don't think I've worn them more than twice, but I have them. And that's the important thing. It's not. Seriously. Like, I need to get over myself. 21. I've written off 2 of my cars. I have written off 2 cars. Yeah. One of them, someone drove into me. It was a little Nissan Micra. Someone drove into the side of the car. All the airbags went off, and they wrote it off purely because the car wasn't worth enough money to fix. You know, the damage was worth more than the car, kind of thing. And then my second one, my brakes failed on the highway. I was driving a Renault Clio, just saying. My brakes failed while I was on the highway, and bye-bye, me. I know they failed. I know they failed, just by the way, because I was pressing down on the brakes and the car didn't stop. So yeah, those, I think the second one was the worst of my sort of little incidences. I have, touch wood, never had an incident really in my Mini Cooper, which I've had for 2 years. Just, yeah, leave me alone, everybody. Both of my accidents, by the way, were around Christmas time. Isn't that weird? Like November, late November, December. Again, about the cars, we actually purchased my first car, which was a Nissan Micra, from a Russian couple. Probably not the brightest idea. And we never saw them again. And when the car was written off, we found out that the car was actually, it was a build-up? Build-up? I think that's what you call it. Anyway, it's like a rebuild. So they take like different parts of different cars, and it can be like a lot of different cars, like the same variety, so all Nissan Micras, and then all different, like, so it could essentially have 4 doors, and each door could be from a different Nissan Micra, or it could just be like one little piece needs to be replaced, and they took it off a car that was already broken and written off or whatever, and so we only got a tiny percentage of our money back on that car, because it was, yeah, we didn't shoot it as a normal car because we thought it was a normal car. Don't buy cars from Russians. That sounds really mean, but I would actually say, no, I'm going to change that. Don't buy cars from random people. Buy them from reputable dealers, please. Anyway, 23 is I planned a theme for the Christmas tree and the Christmas table a year in advance. So by January I will have the next year's theme figured out. That's sad, but it's true. I don't know why I do it. I don't know what possesses me. It just is one of those things that I do. As a child, I only used to drink black coffee, and I would only drink it from this one specific mug, which was like a, it wasn't like a proper like a porcelain mug, it was more like a plastic type of, I think it was melamine, melamine, is that a type of plastic? And it was like a little, like yay big, and it had Mickey Mouse in it, and that was the only cup I would drink out of, because otherwise, I don't know what would happen, but I didn't drink coffee out of any other mug than that one. Don't know. Strange. Anyway, that is 24. That was 24. Can you believe it? That was 24 facts from me. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, big thumbs up, and please do subscribe to this channel. Lots of love coming your way, and I hope you have a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, a great festive season if you celebrate, and all that jazz. Bye! Bye!